Good morning, Your Honours, Premier Marshal, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Constable Georgina Short, and on behalf of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, it is my privilege and honour to welcome you to the official opening of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary Provincial Headquarters. I would like to introduce our special guests and extend a warm welcome to them and thank them for being a part of this ceremony. It is my pleasure to introduce to you His Honour, the Honourable Frank Fagan, Lieutenant Governor for the Province of Newfoundland and Labrador and Honorary Chief of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. Her Honour, Mrs. Patricia Fagan, the Honourable Tom Marshall, Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, the Honourable Darren King, Minister of Justice, the Honourable Felix Collins, Attorney General, Chief Robert Johnson, Retired Chief Joseph Brown, the Honourable Derek Green, Chief Justice of Newfoundland and Labrador, the Honourable David Orsborn, Chief Justice of the Trial Division of the Supreme Court of Newfoundland and Labrador. And we also have Honourable Paul Davis, Minister of Child and Youth and Family Services, Assistant Commissioner Tracy Harding, Commanding Officer, Royal Canadian Mounted Police B Division, the Honourable Edward Roberts, former Lieutenant Governor of Newfoundland and Labrador, and former Honorary Chief of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary and Chair of the RNC Historical Society, Father William Brown, our RNC Padre. In addition, we are most appreciative and honoured to have family and friends here with us today as we commemorate the official opening of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary Provincial Headquarters. This concludes my introduction. I ask you to please refer to your bulletin for an outline of today's ceremony. I would like to invite His Honour, the Honourable Frank Fagan, Lieutenant Governor of Newfoundland and Labrador, to come forward and bring greetings.
Good morning, Premier Marshal, Chief Johnston, Chief Justices, Ministers at Crown, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My wife Pat and I are absolutely delighted and honoured to be here today to celebrate the official opening of this fine new Royal Newfoundland Constabulary Headquarters building. And I can only imagine how proud and excited the members of the force are about these new modern facilities. Our Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, as you know, has a very rich heritage which dates back to 1729 and to this day exhibits the values and professionalism reflected of the highest police standards in the world and are destined for a very strong future. I'd like to pay tribute to and congratulate our Chief and the government for their foresight and commitment to this very, very important institution in our society, and for ensuring that our police officers have the modern, up-to-date facilities, equipment, technology, and training they need to carry out very complex and onerous duties. While it is critical that our police officers have modern, up-to-date infrastructure from which to perform their duties, at the end of the day, it is the people that are most important to the success of this or any organization. Not only does the organization need to have strong values, a clear vision, a relevant strategic and operational plan that clearly allows it to meet the changing needs of its environment, but it must also have strong leadership, well-educated and trained workforce, and employees who are absolutely committed and proud and passionate about what they do. Chief Johnson, I believe that our Royal Newfoundland Constabulary has all those ingredients, and I would like to congratulate you and your team of over 550 police officers and civilians for being one of the finest police forces in our country and the world. I'm very proud to wear this uniform, and I wish you all the best in your new headquarters. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honour. I would like to invite the Honourable Tom Marshall, Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, to come forward and bring greetings.
Your Honours, Chief Johnson, Retired Chief Brown, Deputy Chief Janes, Deputy Chief Singleton, RNC members, distinguished guests, Your Honours, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here today to join with you as we officially open the new headquarters for the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. Seems a long time ago that back in '03, when I arrived here and had the opportunity to meet with Chief Brown at the time and with Chief Bob and members of the the RNC advocacy group that I met with at the time, and never forgot what they said to me. And I'm so pleased to see how far we've come in that period of time. And I look around this building, I can't help thinking about the long history of the RNC in our province. The force has been a presence spanning almost 3 centuries, protecting the people in our province and earning the title as the oldest civil police force in this country. And as Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, we certainly can be proud of a progressive, modern force that it is today. And I can certainly tell you that the government is proud to have worked with you to help build one of the finest police forces in the world. Since 2004, on behalf of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, there's been invested $920 million in policing in our province, and strategic actions were taken to ensure that we have a police force that is able to respond to the needs of our people and our families and our communities. For example, the government of Newfoundland and Labrador believes it's very important that our public institutions reflect the communities they serve, and that women have access to the same employment opportunities as men. Therefore, we've taken measures to ensure that women are represented in all sectors of employment, including policing, and we're very, very proud of what you have accomplished over the last 10 years, because you've made great strides in that regard. Almost a quarter of the police officers of the RNC are now women. Approximately 40% of the new recruits are female. That's up from 8% in 2004. And it's a long way from 1980, when the first woman officer was sworn in. So we now see women being promoted to the senior ranks. It's something that was unheard of in the past. And government has also stepped up with respect to overall recruitment of law enforcement officers and staff. Since 2004, we've seen more than 140 new officers deployed throughout the province. And within the RNC alone, staff has increased by more than 100 people. So in addition to an increased police presence, and as part of all our efforts to keep Newfoundland and Labrador communities safe, historic investments in infrastructure, equipment, training, and vehicles for our officers have been made. And now this beautiful facility. It's a $58 million headquarters is just the latest example of strategic investments that the people of Newfoundland and Labrador have made in policing. And to accommodate the recent growth that we've seen in the RNC, we have recognized that a new and modern facility was critical in order to continue to providing effective policing services here. This new headquarters represents the progressive and world-class police force it will serve, featuring important amenities to enhance our officers' ability to do the job, the tough job that we ask them to do, and to do it with more productivity and efficiency. We have, I understand, new firing range. Don't let me hit that. Interview rooms, underground parking, office space. We have new gender-specific locker rooms. We'll house, how progressive, we'll have a daycare center here, making it easier for parents to arrange for childcare and allowing them to dedicate more time and energy to being the best parents and the best officers that they can be. And the amenities that are housed here will be essential in helping the RNC meet the new challenges that have arisen in recent years. Because our province has changed dramatically over the last decades. We're now undergoing a rapid evolution in terms of our demographics and our society and our economy, and certainly the rate of economic growth where we lead the country this year. We're no longer isolated from the rest of the continent. And as we've evolved, so too unfortunately has the criminal element. Crime today knows no boundaries, whether they be geographical or virtual. But with this new headquarters, we're continuing to build a police force in this province that will meet the needs of our citizens, not only today, but in the future as well. So, as the Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, on behalf of our citizens, I commend the RNC, as well as the RCMP, for their dedication to protecting our communities, for keeping them safe, for our families and our children. And on behalf of all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, I want to thank the members of our province's police services for the sacrifices that they make every day to ensure that our people continue to have one of the best places in the world to live and to work and to raise our families. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Premier Marshall. I would like to invite Chief Robert Johnson to come forward to bring greetings.
Your Honours, Premier Marshall, Minister King, Minister Collins, Minister Davis, Chief Justice Green, Chief Justice Osborne, Assistant Commissioner Hardy, the Honourable Edward Roberts, retired Chief Brown, Father Brown, fellow police officers, civilian staff, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the official opening of the provincial headquarters of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. That has a nice ring to it. Standing here, I feel a tremendous sense of pride, and like all the other police officers here today, I'm honoured to wear the uniform of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. I had that same feeling in 2010 when I stood with our civilian and sworn members when Her Excellency, the Right Honourable Michelle Jean, Governor-General of Canada, unveiled the legacy sculpture. The legacy sculpture, affixed to Constabulary Court, is a permanent symbol of our commitment and place in history here in Newfoundland and Labrador since 1729. This state-of-the-art complex builds on that stoic history and symbolizes our future and commitment to policing excellence. Our roots are long and deep here at Fort Townshend. This place became our permanent home in 1871 with the removal of the British garrison, and much has changed since then. I was here in 1980 when the previous headquarters building was officially opened by Chief John Brown. We thought the building was state-of-the-art at that time when our jurisdiction was the city of St. John's, from Dunn's Corner on Topsail Road to Highland Drive and Torbay Road. Policing has changed, and so has the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. We are an intelligence-led organization. We utilize the latest in investigative techniques and science and deploy these resources to maximize our impact to enhance public safety. Our partnerships with the provincial government, our communities, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, other emergency agencies, and the people we serve has never been more positive than it is today. Our success has been a result of many factors. Our partnerships with Memorial University in developing our police recruits and our supervisors, an increase in our staffing levels, our continuous attention to fostering strong relationships with other law enforcement and community stakeholders, our creation of specialized areas and enhanced training, our commitment to a respectful workplace for all staff, our commitment to being representative of the communities we serve by changing the gender balance from 8% to almost 25% female police officers, and most importantly, our ability to attract some of the brightest and compassionate Newfoundlanders and Labradorians to policing. Despite the many disruptions and challenges, the success we've had over the past 4 years has been extraordinary when you consider that during this time, our records management, our patrol, our criminal operations were displaced because Fort Townshend was a busy construction site. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking all the employees of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary for their patience and commitment to service. We are all here today in this new modern facility, here under one roof, and already we've seen growth in our investigative capacity, and our internal, external communications have been strengthened. This building represents a provincial police service which polices the Northeast Avalon, Western Labrador, and Corner Brook. It will mean an improved response as we partner with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and other police agencies in combating organized crime. The laboratories within our new headquarters for forensic identification, forensic art, technical investigation, and computer forensics are the most up-to-date of its kind in Atlantic Canada. The electronic shooting range, canine kennels, space for the tactical rescue unit and explosive disposal unit, and secure underground parking for our patrol and specialized vehicles prepare us for the challenges ahead. I have seen much change in 35 years. This building not only meets the needs of today, but is designed to adapt to future needs. The only thing that stays constant in policing is change. This building was designed with that core principle in mind. I would like to thank everyone who was instrumental in seeing our provincial headquarters become a reality, and I know many of you are in the room. However, I would especially like to acknowledge retired Chief Joe Brown. It was under his leadership that the RNC campus development transformed from a concept to a final design and ultimately shovels in the ground. Thank you, Joe. And finally, the $42 million provincial headquarters and the $15 million redevelopment of the old Memorial College here in Fort Townshend would not have been possible without the vision and support of the government of Newfoundland and Labrador. Minister Marshall, Minister King, Minister Collins, and Minister Davis, on behalf of all members of the RNC, I wish to thank you and your government for making this a reality and helping us to build on our promise of safer communities through policing excellence. Thank you so much.